and shaped my worldview.
Mm-hmm.
So then I start looking at politics and the way things are. So yeah, I am aware of this. Like, oh, okay. I mean, have I personally been discriminated against? I've been discriminated against some because I'm black. I've been discriminated
Mm-hmm.
against some because I'm, have Middle Eastern or Near Eastern backgrounds. I've been discriminated against by black people because I'm not full black. I've been discriminated against from Iranian people who don't understand the fact that I'm half black. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird dynamic. I'm grateful that I had both my family. I'm grateful that I had mentors in my life who I was able to educate, who was able to educate me, and I was able to navigate that, understand that, to understand people's ignorance on certain things. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I've always had to deal with from a kid, all the way to an adult. And even now as a rapper, people be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people be like, yo, I saw you. I thought you was a light-skinned black dude. Some people just like, oh, I thought you was Iranian. Some people like, oh, I thought you was Puerto Rican. It's just like, you know what I mean? I just know that's just what it is sometimes, you know?
No doubt. I was introduced to you back in 2017. I'm going through YouTube and I'm listening to freestyles and I come across one of yours on Shade 45. I think it was on Sway. And it was just like, holy shit, who is this dude? And I started going down a rabbit hole of who exactly Locksmith is. And it made me, I'm obviously very excited to have you on now to ask you this. Where did it start for you where you went, oh shit, people really taking heed at what I'm doing out here lyrically? People really starting acknowledging me as a hip hop lyricist.
Man, I mean, it's been a long journey for me. I'm still on the journey. When I first was in my group, one of the beginning points was, we were making songs, we were making demos, and then we just wanted to get noticed. We wanted to get signed. We wanted somebody to discover us, and we were making demos. So I remember we sent our demo into to Unsigned Hype. That was in the Source. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we had saw like Biggie and like all these other people were in Unsigned Hype. We were like, yo, man, we just want to get in Unsigned Hype. Then we could blow up and it would be just, blah, 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 blah. So we was making our demo, sending in Unsigned Hype. And the Source, they used to have a phone number in the magazine where you could call. You know what I mean? And we called that number. We were like, yo, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Did y'all get our demo? And it's like, what's your name? It's like, yeah, Frontline. Yeah, you guys are tight, man. It's like, but yo, this month, sorry, you're not going to win. We got this white kid from Detroit. And, he's working with Dr. Dre. We're like, what? A white kid? Who the fuck is that? Like, wow. You know what I mean? And then come to find out, we know who that is.
Slim Shady.
And but we were like, you know what I mean? We were like, man, who is that? We don't care about no white kid like that. Because in hip hop, that was just like, no, you know what I mean? But then when you heard, we had found out it was Eminem, but before he did anything with Dre, we was already listening to him like on the Wake Up Show, like Sway and Tech. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh, this is that kid Eminem. Like we had never, his rapping style was crazy. We was like, yo, this dude is kind of dope. But so anyway, we were making our demos. So the Source was like, look, you're not gonna win the Unsigned Hype this month, but we're coming to the Bay Area. We have like a traveling Unsigned Hype. So when we come to the Bay Area on this day, why don't y'all come? We was like, oh, okay. So they were coming like in a month or a couple weeks to do the Unsigned Hype. So we came, we got there early. It was in the mall. And we signed up. We got there. We was like, all right, we're gonna play our, demo. And we brought them our demo. They were like, what are you doing? We're like, this is our demo. This Unsigned Hype was like, nah, this is a battle. We were like, what? This is a battle. They was like, yeah, you got to sign up, and you know what I mean. So we didn't know that Unsigned Hype had these Source Unsigned Hype battles. And it was like, so basically, they was going from city to city, having the best MCs like audition and battle, and then whoever wins, they go to New York for the big battle. So I had never battled before. I didn't know nothing about that. But it was like, you got to sign up. And it was like, well, what are you going to do? It's like, you're going to rhyme for 30 seconds. And if you're dope, then we put you to the next round and then you can battle somebody. And I was like, all right. So we all did it. And then when I got up there, I spit. They was just like, ooh, oh. You know what I mean? Like, so that was my first time seeing people react to me rapping in that way. I was just like, oh shit. Like, I think I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first time like doing something like that. And I just remember that I just had no fear. Like when they was just like, all right, let's do it. And it may be because of my ignorance, because I just didn't know. But I was just like, all right, that was my first. That may have been my first time even grabbing a microphone. You know what I mean? Like, or in front of people for sure. So I grabbed that microphone and I was just like, yo, you a bitch. And blah, blah, you know what I mean? So it was just like, it just happened from then. And I end up beating everybody and getting all the way to the last round. And I didn't get to go to New York. It was out of like hundreds of MCs. It was just like me and this other dude. And I lost to that dude, but then they sent me to, but they sent him to New York. But I got recognition locally. Everybody's like, yo, that Locksmith dude is dope. And that was my first time getting any kind of like recognition from like anybody, really.
Now, on Ali, your album you dropped in 2018, you rap about driving up in 2015 to Dre's house and you kind of being afraid that you might have to tell your idol that you ain't signing a record deal that day. Can you walk us through that day?
Yeah, so that came, so I was working with Exhibit at the time.
Okay.
With who I'm still, work with. He's still, I still work with him. But X was like, I had did something at Exhibit Studio. I was Jaron Benton. My homie Jaron Benton had a video shoot at Exhibit Studio. So I went to his video shoot, and then Exhibit's people was like, oh, this Locksmith, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you come by the studio, meet Exhibit? So I can't, come back to the studio. So I came back like the next day or something, met with Exhibit. He was like, yo, I fuck with your stuff. I was like, oh man, it's an honor. You're legends, and I ended up doing some songs with him. And then Exhibit hit me later. It was like, yo, bro, would you be down to work on some stuff and blah, blah. I was like, yeah. So I flew down to LA. Exhibit, put me up, had me staying in his crib, super, super nice guy, super great family. So I was just out there like all week in the studio, just like working. And then one day at the studio, he was like, yo, let's take a drive. And I was like, all right. So then we hopped in the car. I was like, where are we going? He's like, well, we going to Malibu. I was like, what's in Malibu? He's like, yo, Dre wants to meet you. I'm like, what? So we go to Dre's crib and, we go to pull up to his crib, man. He's got this beautiful spot on the beach. And, we go up to his home studio. And we just sit up there and, I'm just talking to Dre for hours. And, and we were playing music and he was asking my opinion on stuff. And, it was just a surreal event. I just couldn't imagine something like this would happen. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Dre was like, what do you think of this? He asking me my opinion on shit. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You back with Dre, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And so then afterwards, Exhibit was like, yeah, man, he don't really play that stuff for a lot of people and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, cool. But then, so after that, I had spoke with Exhibit and we had talked about potentially working together, doing a deal, but it just never really materialized. I don't really know for what reason specifically, but I just remember the feeling that I had in the moment. I just kind of felt like I still had things that I had to learn on my own before I could sign to somebody. So that's what that song Stars was about, me saying like, Dre didn't ask me to sign, but I kind of had this feeling like if he did, there's no way I could turn him down. You know what I'm saying? Like basically it's like, like if Dre asked me to sign, there's no way I could turn this down. So I gotta, but actually it was the proposition or without going into any details, I spoke with Exhibit and we still working.
Say less.
So that's basically what it was.
Dope story. What would you say, or what's your thoughts about the current state of hip hop and his message to the youth?
Oh shit.
In general, obviously there's a lot of different genres, but the mainstream stuff is pushed out on the radio and stuff.
I mean, that's a very general question. Can you be more specific? Like, I don't know.
Drug promotion in hip hop. How do you feel about that? Violence promotion, I would say, in hip hop.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're gonna have violence. I don't think it's right to say somebody can't talk about what they want to talk about. But artists, as I can only speak for myself. I just have to have personal accountability for the things that I rap about, the things that I put out into the universe. For me, sincerity is very big for me. So that's the only way I know how to make music. Other people who do that, other people who choose to go a different way in how they do stuff, that's how they do it, But I think hip hop is in a good place because technology allows where there's, so many different things can exist now. You're not just stuck on what the radio, like I barely listen to the radio. And when I do listen to the radio, I'm specifically listening for a purpose. Like, all right, I want to see what's on the radio. Let me listen. Oh, like I hear some songs. I'm like, oh, okay, I like that. And then I ain't got to listen. Now you can listen to music on demand now, which didn't exist 10, 15 years ago. So now I believe that hip hop is in a good place because now you can have mature artists. You know what I'm saying? You can have Jay-Z, who's 50 years old now, still making relevant music.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Eminem. You can have OGs in the game. You can have people like Crooked Eye and Royce the 5'9", and even myself now. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do the hip hop you love and be able to reach that audience. So I think it's in a good place, but there's always going to be negative shit. There's nothing you can do about that. There's always going to be mainstream shit, and the mainstream shit is always the stuff that's sensationalized. But what can you do?